Welcome to Lion Trading, going over today's SPY recap and live analysis. So first thing that I explained in the pre-market brief for Discord members was to be watching for the purple buying continuation with the blue and yellow controlled selling that has brought us up this entire way. And you can see, right, the yellow and the blue controlled selling right here as we head up along the way within this purple buying continuation, and you see it once again right here. Now, I also explained that if we were going to head down, you would have to see, first of all, this 20-day moving average turn into resistance, but more importantly, we would need to form something like this and grab that liquidity heading down, forming maybe an inverse cup, and to break this green algorithm right here. Now, the entire day, we remained unable to break this green algorithm right here. You can see we tested it multiple times right here, and each time we were unable to break down. Even right here, we were never able to head down like this, closing this inverse cup and seeing the downside. We will come back to this and I will explain more, but we first need to go over the 1-minute chart and the microstructure. So now on the 1-minute chart here off of the open, we were pretty choppy for the first hour or so, but there were still some trades that you could have taken right here. That head and shoulder, same thing right here, another head and shoulder, and once again, this inverse cup and handle right there with this head and shoulder, but we were tapering this whole time with the pink. Now with this pink, we got this breakout right here, but this head and shoulder did not last because you can see once we tried to close this cup right here, there is no handle and no shoulder in order to continue closing it right here, and there is one last sell-off which you could have taken if you caught it off of this head and shoulder right there at this level. Now after this move right here, I explained that if we reach the 20-day moving average, which was down here, you can begin looking for this to form off of it, or you can look for us to create some sort of resistance right here, and from there this head and shoulder. But I also explained that if we do not reach it all the way down there, to be watching for this inverse head and shoulder and all of this liquidity right here, which you can see we end up grabbing. We form this cup right here, and there is this handle, and from there the blue and yellow starts bringing us up throughout the day. Now with this move up right here, I was explaining you still have to be paying attention to the blue and the yellow right here, which you can see brings us up once again with this inverse head and shoulder, and we get that move right here, which I'm about to go over. So with this move right here, I was explaining not only do we have this, but watch for this cup to fill right here, and from there be looking for this handle, and you can see how it gave this entry right here. It's not much, but once we are above this level right there, you can see that we get this big buying coming in, and once again there is another entry right here. If you saw it, you could have taken it off of that. So after this great move up right here, I called it a day and explained that we can still continue moving higher. Watch for a stronger microstructure to form, and you can see this inverse head and shoulder as well as cup and handle right there, and once again there is another push. Like I was explaining, if you were looking to short this, which it ends up happening over here, which we will go over, but right here, there's no reason to just short some red candles. You need to see us actually start heading down, forming something like this in order to do so. So like I'm saying, if you were looking to short, right here was not the place to do it. However, right here, you can see this head and shoulder off of this key level. If you see right there, this was a good spot if you were looking for it, and from there, say you missed this up here, you could have taken this inverse cup and handle right there with again another head and shoulder, and there's your first move. So we get this inverse cup close, and then say you missed this as well, there is another handle right here. Like I explained here, you must be watching for it, and you get that head and shoulder, and we close once again another inverse cup, but we lack this handle right here to get below this 542, and we do not get the flush down to that 541 like I'm explaining, which we need to close below on the 30 if we are going to head down. You can see right there that we have all of this liquidity. So in the case that we were to head down, we could have broke the green as well. Now I continue to explain, if you were still looking to short this right here, that you must see this form right here, and if not, then there is no reason to be shorting it. Now, the reason I explained you have to see this inverse cup close is because we are still within this blue controlled selling, and if we want to be forming this right here, we can. You also have to pay attention to this tapering, which you can see we are in. Now, if you were scalping this, there is a few trades here. You can see this cup and handle trying to form right there with this inverse head and shoulder, but you would have had to protect at this cup because once again, we are struggling to break through and we are very choppy. Now you can see right here that it took time to form, but you do see how we eventually grab this shoulder right here and close this cup. Now we ran out of time here at the end of the day to form a handle and see further breakout or anything, but there was no inverse cup close right here, and we never lost this 542.50 level, so there was no reason to be shorting it right here. There is right a head and shoulder, but once again with this inverse cup, there is no handle right here, and you can see that there's no close of that. Now during this chop as well, you have to understand that we are still within this yellow and blue controlled selling, like I've been mentioning, and we never break the green. So there were several times, right, that we tried, but we bounced. Same thing right here, tried, but once again got this bounce rather than holding below that and trying to form the inverse cup. Now for the final moves of the day, I explained that if we wanted to continue right here, be watching for this right there, and for the blue and yellow to continue on the way up, or to be looking for this head and shoulder and this liquidity right here. So you see this inverse cup that forms right here with that handle as well as that head and shoulder, which you could have had a nice scalp to the downside. But once again, we close this inverse cup right here, and this handle, there is no continuation. We close this inverse cup once again, and for this handle, there is no head and shoulder to break this 542.50, which I explained was the key level, and you must be watching for it if we want to head down. But once again, we see this blue controlled selling right here and this inverse head and shoulder. Yes, it was a last minute move, but you can see how this starts to form, and it closes that cup right here as well as trying to close up here. Now I'm going to go over what to be watching tomorrow, but first thing you can see we are in this wedge, which we remained in throughout the day. So what you must be watching for tomorrow is if we do have a double top right here and we want to start heading down, be watching for this inverse cup to close right here at this 20-day moving average, and from there you will want to see the resistance if we do continue heading down and grabbing this liquidity right here, or if we start to form some sort of support and we form a larger handle right here and you see this inverse head and shoulder form off of it. So if I zoom out some, you can see how we reached this level right here, which was a previous resistance. So right, if we do want to start forming this and heading down, be watching for it with this 20-day moving average as well as this 5-day, which I'm going to go over on the daily and what to be looking for out of those, but a few more things to go over here. So we still have all of this liquidity down here if we were right to form resistance at this 20 as well as this 5-day, and we do not want to continue heading up right here, filling this cup. So I'll explain here on the daily. You can see this 5-day is getting closer to this 20 again. And when that happens, if the 5-day starts to trend back above, we can see an uptrend again and be looking for this upper Bollinger retest right here. So if we see this 5-day cross back above, say we form some sort of support off of it, then we can continue filling this cup and looking for this upper Bollinger retest. Now what you'll want to see if we are headed back down is this to become resistance, the 5 and the 20 right here, and from there we form something like this, and we will look for this bottom Bollinger retest again, and possibly that 200-day moving average if another downtrend does start right here. So just before wrapping up the video, we do have some news in the morning being jobless claims, so pay attention if that is a catalyst. But other than that, that is all. So thank you for watching, and I will see members in the morning.